Guys, I love what I'm about to tell you because we've had enough. Enough is enough. And when it gets bad enough, people step in. And when you have the right people step in, like President Trump and our boy Elon Musk, things are about to change. Let me know your thoughts in the comments about this. Elon Musk has just came out and is putting millions of dollars to bring awareness and campaigns across the United States for the Ukrainian refugee girl that lost her life to a career criminal on the rail train in North Carolina. Guys, this is big. We have new crime bills that are surfacing, crime bills targeting the people that are funding career criminals. And you won't even believe this, guys, because it just came out this morning. NGOs, we have evidence that there are NGOs that are taxpayer funded have been used to fund career criminals being released from jails. It is bad, everybody. The amount of waste, fraud, and abuse, the amount of money that you and our tax dollars that goes to literally corruption and criminals is asinine. It is crazy. Enough is enough. We have new bills from Marjorie Taylor Greene today, from others and leaders in the House of Representatives and Senator Josh Hawley over going after judges that are continuing to disrupt and make every single blue sanctuary city state even more worse with allowing career criminals out on the streets. New laws are being pushed forward with the data that we have now that's just been released this morning, that if we will put in jail for 10 plus years people that commit 5 violent crimes. If you get to 5 violent crimes in your life, something's wrong. But a new bill has surfaced that if we put these people into jail incarcerate them for 10 plus years, people that commit at least 5 violent crimes, we will reduce violent crime in America by 40%, almost cut in half. That just tells you who's breaking the law. This is massive, and a lot of people, I'm telling you, this is big. Even if we allowed them to get to 10 violent crimes, we would reduce violent crime in America by 20%. This is not America. This is not what it's supposed to be like. But when you have corrupt judges that are being paid off by NGOs, by our taxpayer dollars, this is where the corruption settles in. All they want is chaos. We also have big breaking news over 3 states that have just put out, Georgia, Philadelphia, and Texas, newest election fraud cases that have just surfaced, including a Democrat election judge in Pennsylvania. I'm telling you, everybody, what you're about to hear next, we knew it was rigged. Trump called it, and now we have the person who has pleaded guilty to it. Dominic DeMuro, a Democratic election judge in Philadelphia, has just pleaded guilty to taking bribes and stuffing mail-in ballots in the 2020 election. The big spikes we saw during the middle of the night, it was all rigged. 100%. And now we have the culprits. And there's 2 more that I'm going to show you in just a moment. They came from Texas and Georgia, where they have been charged with 70 counts, stuffing thousands of mail-in ballots, using P.O. boxes, using subsidized housing, where people in Section 8 housing, instead of giving them their mail-in ballots to go and vote, they were stealing them and voting for them for the Democratic Party. All this is coming out, guys, and it's all corrupt, all being paid off. This is as bad as it gets, and it's about dang time that we finally expose it all. But I want to give you some good news. Chief Justice Roberts from the Supreme Court has just reversed a lower court order that was attempting to force President Trump to spend $4 billion in additional foreign aid by the end of the month. Guess what? Not happening, baby. Coming back to the American taxpayer. That's what we voted for. Supreme Court is doing their dang job with putting America first, and it's about dang time. If you appreciate this, let me know your thoughts in the comments. We got a big breaking news show for you today, guys. So much has been exposed, Elon Musk is in the mix to help fight this. The amount of just racism and corruption and all that is all being exposed. I want to say thank you to everybody who is watching, to all of our subscribers, all of our viewers. You are awesome. You're the best. If you're not subscribed, please consider joining our family. We want to serve you every day with the top news. I want to say thank you to everybody that is a member of the channel, those that have given in a super chat donations. We're truly thankful for your support as you help us in our giving. On the 22nd of every single month, this guy right here is donating live on stream. I want to give some special love also to just everybody that shares our video on X, on Facebook. It really helps our video growth. And if you don't mind doing us a huge favor of hitting that thumbs up like button, guys, we got a big show for you today. Big stuff, I'm telling you. Now that we've got the Congress involved, so many bills out today, they're being voted on. We're going to show you in just a moment, but it's about dang time. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Check this out.
Democrats are running a national catch and release business. They've set up shop in every major city, from New York to Seattle. The business model, they stop criminals from going to prison so they can spit them back onto the streets. It's a revolving door of injustice, no matter how many dead bodies it creates. From Lake and Riley to Irina Zarutska, Democrats won't ever say their names or show their faces, but we will.
For far too long, Americans have been forced to put up with Democrat-run cities that set loose savage, bloodthirsty criminals to prey on innocent people. In Charlotte, North Carolina, we saw the results of these policies when a 23-year-old woman who came here from Ukraine met her bloody end on a public train. A beautiful young girl that never had problems in life, with a magnificent future in this country. And now she's dead.
Refugee. She literally came to the United States from a bomb shelter in Ukraine to escape the war. And she was going about her day. She was coming home from work on a light rail train, like all of us do all the time, and she was brutally murdered. After Irina's death, the embassy in Ukraine called and said, we'll help you bring her home. And her family said no. They said she loved America. We're gonna bury her here. So I think we can give her an America to be proud of. As Mr. Barnacle said, something here is broken, and we're here to fix it.
And I want to show you this because this already came out this morning, y'all. I'm telling you, $3.3 million from a left-wing NGO, remember, a non-government organization that is funded by the government, went to Mecklenburg County to reduce the jail population, the very county that released career criminal DeCarlos Brown 14 times. So you tell me that our taxpayer dollars are going to these organizations that are then fighting and paying to release these career criminals that are committing more crimes, and that's what they call justice? Guys, I'm telling you, this right here that's coming out, this is just one of them we're going to show you that's been exposed today, but $3.3 million. This stuff adds up, and what we're showing you is that it is all being pulled back. Marjorie Taylor Greene is on the Congress floor today, and she is smacking people with what's about to come next. And if you appreciate this, you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. And guys, go ahead and show Lay Lewis some love in the chat for gifting 5 TrueLife News memberships. If you got a free membership, show Lay some love in the chat. OG of the channel, growing our family. Thank you so much, Lay. I'm telling you, we are gonna expose everything.
She was working, she assimilated, but her American dream got cut down on a train. The feds are tacking on a terrorism charge, and DeCarlos Brown, the killer, is facing lethal injection. And there's a bill in play to add options, electric chair or firing squad. But the media says we're just cherry-picking cases to find a white George Floyd.
They've been looking for opportunities to make this some sort of like reciprocal George Floyd situation. And that's the part that I think he's almost giving away the game. And it's sad to see a lot of people going along with it.
This lady disgusts me. And you know why? George Floyd was a career criminal. In the autopsy found that he died from an overdose. Should they have been kneeling on his neck? No. For as long as they did, no. I don't agree with that. but you don't make them into a spectacle. This lady was on her way home, and the police weren't involved, and a career criminal took her life by stabbing her in the neck. And that lady has the audacity on CNN to say that we're trying to make this a George Floyd case, that this is our George. Like, are you even kidding me? That's how broken, degraded that CNN has become to lower their standards to the point where they would allow them to make a statement like what you just heard. It's disgusting, it's disrespectful, and it's not the American way.
Difference here, we're not rioting. And Floyd was no choir boy. Arena was an innocent angel.
Yes, she was.
And Floyd's death was unintentional. Here, there's no doubt DeCarlos was there to kill. And he's not just one bad apple. There are a lot of DeCarlos Browns running around. DeCarlos had 14 priors. Wake County, North Carolina, just a few miles away from Charlotte. There's 800 people with 14 or more priors, just from the last decade.
Wow.
Some of them racked up 50 to 70 arrests apiece. And this isn't for jaywalking. Almost all of them have assault charges. They're violent. Yesterday, another North Carolina man, Julian MacArthur, with 30 arrests, stabbed a woman with a drug needle while he was out on probation. Alexander Dickey, 30 years old, 40 arrests. He was just let out of jail and shot a college girl in the ribs, and now she's dead. The dad wants the death penalty.
Yes.
Logan would want him dead. He is the prime candidate. He checks all the boxes. He rings the bell. He's graduated every step of the way from his crimes. He was arrested 39 times, Trey. 25 of them were felonies. I mean, this guy wasn't getting any better. They didn't put him in prison so he couldn't be rehabilitated. So, you know, why not? Why haven't they made a statement that they are seeking the death penalty now? I don't understand it. It's been 4 months last week that my daughter was executed.
It's not just...
And I want to show you this, guys, because it always boils down to who's the leader and who's in charge. And now that we are exposing, look at this right here. A Democratic congressman has been sent to prison now for years of ballot stuffing plot. Michael Ozzie Myers admitted bribing election officials for years to rig Philadelphia elections. And if you didn't know, Philadelphia is in Pennsylvania. The one state that was a big determining factor in the 2020 election. And in all the elections, it's a big swing state. He was sentenced to 30 months in federal prison. Well, guess what? Not the only one. We also have it right here where Dominic DeMuro, a Democrat election judge in Philadelphia, pleaded guilty in 2020 to taking bribes and stuffing ballot boxes from 2014 to 2016. He added fraudulent votes for candidates who paid a political consultant. So when we see that we on the Democratic side, and trust me, there's fraud, I believe, on both sides. But the predominantly it's on the Democratic side. And that's how they've been winning elections, with cheating, with illegals being counted in the census, with mail-in ballots. And those are the people that have been put in charge to put over these judges that have been allowing all this recklessness of career criminals out onto the streets. That's why I'm so excited what you're about to hear today. In just a moment, from Congress, Marjorie Taylor Greene, we love her, is finally going to help put an end to all this corruptness.
North Carolina, every major city has DeCarlos Browns. In Baton Rouge, Anthony Jelks Jr., he had 6 arrests in 6 years, from firearm charges to domestic abuse. And he was let out of jail, put on probation, and then raped a 4-year-old. Gave her an STD. New York City, remember Michelle, the woman who was arrested over 97 times?
97.
I went to Bloomingdale's. Bloomingdale's, and I stole. I professionally obscured some items consisting of polo and Ralph Lauren.
You got a pretty nice shirt on. Did you steal that shirt?
Did I obscure this shirt? I sure did obscure this shirt.
Will you steal even now that you're out on supervised
I have to
release?
give me an outfit.
Okay, so you're going to go steal it.
So I have to go work.
Work is stealing.
Work is stealing.
I don't call it stealing. I call it professional professional boosting.
So what are Democrats doing to stop it? Nothing.
You want to empty
Tommy
the prisons.
Mondami in New York wants to empty the prisons. The police can arrest these bad seeds all weekend, but it means nothing if they're out of jail by Monday. Dumb DAs and DEI judges are just unleashing career criminals like DeCarlos onto the streets, and every time someone gets killed, they say, oops. The woman that let DeCarlos Brown walk with no cash bail, guess who she donated to?
When Brown was arrested yet again in January of this past year, a Democrat judge, who I will add was a strong supporter of former Vice President Kamala Harris, released this insane criminal once again without requiring him to pay any bail. He simply had to sign a written promise to return for his court hearing.
The White House says this is Teresa Stokes, a Harris donor who doesn't even have a law degree, but just made a career criminal and a schizophrenic who beat his own sister when he was out on parole. Pinky promised that he'd behave. Ms. Stokes wasn't elected. She was nominated by the clerk.
Wow.
In Mecklenburg County, the sitting clerk is Alyssa Chin Gary. On her LinkedIn page, she calls herself a clerk and a DEI consultant and a racial equity organizer. And
let me show you this, because I'm telling you, this is the new laws that are about to come out. Let me know if you agree with this or not, because this will change the game. This is, to me, it merits being put into law today. But we're going to show you, because Marjorie Taylor Greene is coming out with it, a 10-strike law preventing people from leaving prison after that many violent crime convictions would reduce period violent crime by 20%. If we just stopped it at 10, okay? To me, if you get to 10, something's wrong. Up here. 5 strikes, if we reduced the crime and said, we're going to keep you in prison if you commit 5 violent criminal acts, we would reduce violent crime by 40%. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. This is all about to come to light. People are fed up. It's so bad. What you're seeing, people's lives, career criminals is actually a weird thing. People aren't afraid to go to jail anymore because they know that whenever they're dealing with people like this, they'll get out just like that. Just like that. And it's sickening. It's causing crime. And not only that, it's making a joke of our justice system. Tijuana border jumper, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Said President Trump needs 8 more years. His first term was interfered with. 2020 was stolen, and the rhinos are blocking what we the people voted for. Amen, brother. Show Tijuana border jumper some love in the chat, as well as Fred Samuel, who said they can only destroy America if they allow criminals to destroy it from the inside. That's why it's supported. Y'all show Fred Samuel some love in the chat. Thanks, guys, for your support. This is big stuff, guys, because I'm telling you, people are fed up, and we have the House, and I believe that we will get something passed ASAP.
her life mission, reparations.
We are here to honor them, to lift their names, and to continue that intergenerational work that we are required to do to eliminate structural racism.
Ms. Stokes was nominated by Judge Carla Archie. Judge Archie is friends with Eric Holder, Obama's wingman. And Judge Archie isn't just any judge. In 2019, she was the DEI Champion of the Year. Is this starting to make sense? Did a woman die because of DEI? Just a couple months ago, a guy shot 5 people on New Year's, and Judge Archie sentenced him to 1.5 years for shooting 5 people. 1.5 years. This is a DEI court, and they have blood on their hands. And if the people in robes are on the same side as the bad guys, that's suicide. Are you okay with the country committing judicial suicide? I'm not. DEI died when Kamala lost. It's illegal. And releasing felons with dozens of arrests for social justice is a crime against the country.
Let me show you this. This is how bad you know it's gotten, everybody. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for all your support, everybody. This is what the New York Times posted. A gruesome murder in North Carolina ignites a firestorm on the right. You bet your butt it does. Politico said Ukrainian refugee killed in North Carolina gets dragged into political messaging war. Are you kidding me? Axios said stabbing video fuels MAGA's crime message. So when somebody who's a career criminal literally takes the life of a young, innocent woman, we're just supposed to not say anything, just like you? Is that where things are at now? Because I'm telling you, people are so fed up. Do you realize? I've got to pull this over, guys, because I'm telling you, they've lost it. The left has completely lost it. They believe that we should start making the word black when we refer to black people as its own spectacle to be lifted up. I couldn't believe this. Elon Musk reposted this. New York Times racial hierarchy. Crime against Irina Zrutska was committed by a capital B black man against a lowercase w white woman. Basically, they're looking at these white women as second-class citizens. Look at this. This is the story that was put out by the New York Times. Notice that every time they use the word black man, it's in a capital B. With white woman, it's a lowercase w. It's subliminal messaging that's getting into people's minds to uplift that it's a black victim, that it's that the black man is above the white woman. This makes no sense, guys. This is when you know society is losing it. They are losing their mind when they're uplifting this type of racial against black against white. And Elon Musk is so fed up with this that he's donating millions of dollars to bring awareness to this right here, to bring justice in some form or fashion to Irina Zrutska, who lost her life. And we've got people that are fighting against this in Congress. Listen to this, because I'm telling you, things are about to change. When you hear this, it's about dang time.
You know, I want to talk about a story that I think is very relevant. Brendan Ofori died after being shot on a Green Line Metro train in 2023. Only on 4, his mother tells what prosecutors told her about dropping charges against the 17-year-old's accused killer. This was a 17-year-old black teenager here in Washington that was murdered, and prosecutors dropped the charges against the man. They have photos of him, eyewitness accounts, and his murderer was never prosecuted, never went to jail. And I think that is the kind of judicial wrong that has not only happened here in Washington, D.C. to many innocent people and their family, but it's happening all over the country. And this is a very relevant conversation because when innocent people are being murdered, especially teenagers, and their murderers are having charges dropped, or they have judges that let them off on lenient crimes, or say they're a repeat offender that has been arrested and arrested and arrested over and over and over again, and they keep getting released and they keep getting released, and there's another victim and another victim and another victim. This should go beyond political boundaries.
Yes.
And I can't understand how this becomes a fight about my Democrat colleagues' Trump derangement syndrome and politicizing Washington, D.C. This should be about victims of crime. And this should be the fact that we should have a justice system that holds people accountable for the crimes they commit against innocent people. And right now we're seeing on the news an innocent woman that came from Ukraine. This woman felt safer coming from a war in Ukraine. She thought she was coming to America to be safe, and she was murdered on a train in cold blood. Murdered. And we're seeing crimes like this day after day, night after night, and it goes on and on and on.
And this is why I wanted to show you guys that people are fed up. Elon Musk came out and said he is donating $1 million to paint murals of Irina Zrutska in U.S. cities, and millions more for awareness over the career criminals that are continuously let out on the streets. Like, this stuff needs to happen. I support this 100%. And I've been thinking a lot, like, trust me, guys, in my mind, and in my prayers too, I'm like praying that, Lord, I want to fight this injustice. I want to fight for the innocent people that get hurt, that had done nothing wrong. But yet, because people were soft on crime, judges are paid off, and they're trying to create chaos, this is what we get. Jojo, Backwater Fishing, which is Jojo, thank you so much for gifting 5 TrueLife News memberships, growing the TrueLife News family, brother. Show Jojo some love in the chat if you got a free membership from Jojo. Thank you so much, brother, OG of the channel. Deborah Gomez, thank you so much for the super chat. Said they should have universal crime standards, no states, 100%. We need it from the federal level because it's ridiculous. Show Deborah and Jojo some love in the chat. I'm telling you that this year is a great awakening for how much waste, how fraud and abuse is happening, how much our taxpayer dollars are funding our own demise because of Democrat leftist policies.
Anybody wants to argue about the National Guard? What, you people want the National Guard coming in and handing out water bottles when there's some sort of natural disaster? Is that just what the National Guard is supposed to be for? Well, I'm going to tell you what's up. The National Guard is also here to protect and keep our streets and our country safe. They aren't meant to be sent over to foreign wars to go die in some foreign country. The National Guard should be used for Americans to be safe, businesses to be able to prosper, people to be able to walk with their families down the street. I'm going to tell you something. People of Washington, D.C. in this room, Congress has jurisdiction over the District of Columbia. That's the reality. Democrats, you may not like that, but that is the reality. The bills that are being passed here and being in a public setting, being discussed and debated and being voted on are for your safety.
Yes.
Because what's happened, and you know it because you live here, you are living in a city filled with crime, And we have witnessed it as members of Congress. We've lived in it. A Democrat congressman just a few years ago got carjacked. We've had interns murdered on Washington, D.C. streets.
What?
And you know it because in your communities, you know.
Hold up. Guys, let me tell you this. Some of this breaking news, I haven't even filtered through that. I haven't even seen it. Just like this one that literally came up moments ago, okay? That just, like, when I react to things like this, it's really a true reaction. Have you ever heard on the news of interns that were working for Congress that got murdered in Washington, D.C.? That's messed up. Like, holy crap. That's messed up. And these Democrats want to fight this? Are you kidding me?
People, and you witness it. There's drive-by shootings, there's drug deals, and the youths of this community are being done wrong. Absolutely being done wrong. And so I'm telling you right now, I can tell you I'm from Georgia. Yes, that is where I am from. However, I come to work in Washington, D.C., and I live here when I am here for work, and I happily go back home when I am not here for work. But I will tell you there is a commitment by Republicans on this committee to stand up against crime and do what is right for the American people. And I 100%, and so do my colleagues, 100% support the use of the National Guard to clean up the crime and stop the criminals from murdering and raping and stealing and making cities unsafe. And that's the reality of where we are today. And so this debate can continue back and forth, but it is ridiculous. Fighting for criminals is a losing argument. Fighting against crime will win every single time on anybody that has common sense. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield.
And this is what I'm talking about, y'all, because they always say, well, your vote counts and make sure that you speak with your vote. Well, you know what? That's why it's so important. We need to get some dang photo IDs for voting at the federal level in all elections. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, let me tell you this. I get sick and tired that the Democrats said this wasn't happening, and it is. Look at this. Monica Mendez pled guilty in 2022 to 26 felony counts after orchestrating a vote harvesting scheme in Bloomington, Texas. She registered 275 voters to the same P.O. box tied to subsidized housing and collected ballots illegally. Let me tell you this. This is just one person. There's 330 million people in the United States. If just 1,000 people, 1,500, 2,000 people do this, they change an election. 100%. 100%. And there needs to be the highest level of fines and jail time. But these are the people that are rigging the elections. And then they want to say, well, make your voice heard, go vote. Well, we're trying, but these people keep doing it because you allow them with no voter ID. A simple signature. It's so messed up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Lay Lewis, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Said Joel, you fight every day by bringing us the real news every day. We are thankful for you, Lay. Thankful for you. Thank you so much. Show Lay, OG of the channel, some love in the chat, as well as Chris Prez. Brother, you are the man. If you got a free membership from Chris, show him some love in the chat for gifting 20 TrueLife News memberships. OG of the channel. Brother, we can't thank you enough for helping us to grow this family. This is big stuff, guys. I'm telling you, as this family grows, our giving grows, our influence grows, and we're going to continue bringing all the facts, all the receipts, so that people are informed. Y'all show Chris and Lay some love in the chat. And don't forget to show Robert Cash some love, too, as well, for upgrading his membership. Thank y'all so much for your support. Listen to this, because I'm telling you, we got some pit bulls that I feel like they need to be in leadership right now. Because this could change everything with what you're about to see, guys. And I love it. Again, these people, they're not afraid to speak out. Listen to this.
A young man to keep your eye on, Senator Josh Hawley. Senator Hawley, I want to, this is going to be four, and we got more of a cold open to play. There's four things we want to tie together. Number one, your historic speech last week at National Conservatism Conference on transhumanism. And then you had a huge hearing yesterday on Meta. I want to tie that with this horrific report we got out of the National Education Council about just the complete free fall of reading skills, reading comprehension, English, math skills, science, all of it. And the dinner last week of what I call the demons around President Trump, put together by God knows who, after Bobby Kennedy's, inquisition he had in the Senate last week. Let's start the speech, because they show two things are going on. The elites are focused on a whole different set of issues than what impact the American people in their day-to-day lives and what we have to do here. They are focused on immortality and transhumanism. This parade last week, I said the most important thing that came, it was not the geopolitical attempted realignment on the Chinese Communist Party, as bad as that is. It was Xi and Putin talking about, caught on a hot mic, or a hot mic, quote unquote, about living to 125 to $150 right now on organ harvesting, with transhumanism going to give them immortality. Let's start with your speech and the warning that you gave the American people, but you also put Silicon Valley and the oligarchs on notice, sir.
Well, here's the thing that they want to do, Steve. These guys in Silicon Valley, these oligarchs, that's exactly the right word. They want to rule this country forever. I mean, these are guys who have so much power already. They want even more power. They are focused on extending their lifespans at the expense, by the way, of every working man's lifespan. You look what's happening in this country. You look what's happening in my state, in the heartland of this country. Life expectancy going down. For working people, it's going down. They are ravaged by drugs, ravaged by chronic disease. Meanwhile, these Silicon Valley oligarchs are spending $1 billion a year so that they can live longer and longer. And here's the worst part. They're using AI systems to help them and hurt us. They're using AI to short shorten the lifespans of working people by taking away their jobs, taking away their livelihoods, and they're turning around and using that same AI to try to make themselves immortal. It would be crazy if it weren't so dangerous. And the ideology that these people have is that they should have all the power. Working people should have no power. They should run the country, not the people. That's not what we're founded on, Steve.
Your individual inquiry into this leads you to believe we're not talking about science fantasy or science fiction, correct? I mean, because sometimes when you mention this thing, people go, what are you guys talking about? Immortality. Your individual research into this topic makes it very real to you, sir?
Yeah, I mean, listen, all I can tell you is that the tech people who are spending literally, when I say $1 billion, I'm not kidding. I mean, they're spending cumulatively billions of dollars on these new wellness regimens. They think that they can extend their lifespan into the far horizon. But here's the bottom line. Whatever the truth is in that, they are using artificial intelligence to further their ideology, and that's what matters for us, Steve. That's what matters to this country and for working people. They're going out there and they're turning AI into a weapon to help the oligarchs and to hurt the working man. We cannot allow that to happen. Right now, AI is turning into a tool of the rich and powerful to extend their control over this country. We got to stop that. There'll be no jobs left for working people if this goes on, if we don't put guardrails up, and if we don't make this technology serve working people rather than the other way around.
Yep. And I want to show you this, guys, because again, it's one thing to show you what's happening, and to hear, it's another thing to bring context, to layer in what's going on behind the scenes, especially from this guy right here on the screen, our boy Elon Musk. Because again, when you're in the inside, you learn a lot of stuff. Now he's not in the government anymore. But the guys that are interviewing, one of them especially is still part, he's the crypto czar for Trump, David Sachs. But you just heard what Senator Josh Hawley just said. Now listen to what Elon Musk has to say, because I'm telling you, we're in a fight, and a lot of things have got to change.
You're in Palo Alto, and not Washington, D.C.
I'm at Tesla Global Engineering Headquarters in Palo Alto.
Yeah. So no more Washington, D.C. You're back at work. You're focused. Yeah?
Yeah, I haven't been to D.C. since May.
Okay.
That was a hell of a side quest.
That was a good. Any lessons from your time in Washington, D.C.?
The government is basically unfixable.
Elon, only.
I applaud David's noble efforts in this. It's good to have talented people in the administration, but at the end of the day, if you look at our national debt, which is insanely high, the interest payments exceed the Defense Department. War Department budget, and they keep rising. So if AI and robots don't solve our national debt, we're toast.
You hear that, guys? I'm telling you, like, all this stuff that we're bringing to you, all this information, we hope you appreciate it. If you do, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button for us, this is big stuff that's going on. And so that's why when you hear what Senator Josh Hawley is saying, Marjorie Taylor Greene, the bills that they're trying to pass to change all of the laws when it comes to crime, when it comes to just the stealing the elections, it's all, I mean, guys, I just showed you earlier, like, this crap has been rigged. It 100% was. They denied it, but now we have people that have literally pled guilty to it, and we have to do something about it.
Let's play the clip from yesterday. We got a bunch. Let's play the first clip for Senator Hawley.
Why is it so important to Meta? Go ahead, Ms. L.
Children drive product adoption in the household, and VR is a gaming device.
So they drive product adoption, which means what for Meta? Just cash it out for us.
That means the reason that families buy VR headsets is kids.
Which means more money for Meta.
Yes.
So this is about profits at the end of the day.
Yes.
Let's just be really clear. Meta's number one bottom line is money. It is profits, bar nothing. That's it. And what you're testifying to is they will do anything, including exposing our children to the most vile sexual abuse if it means more profits for Meta. Have I got that right?
Yes. If I may.
Please.
When I was doing research to identify the harms that children were facing in VR, which I had to be sneaky about because legal wouldn't actually let me do it, I identified that Roblox, the app in VR, was being used by coordinated pedophile rings. They set up strip clubs and they pay children to strip, and that Robux can be converted into real money. So, and I flagged this to Meta. I said, under no circumstances should we host the app Roblox on their headset. You can now download it in their app store.
I'm going to turn this back over to the chairwoman because my time has expired. I just want to end by saying this. It is abundantly clear to me that it is time to allow parents and victims to sue this company. They have got to be able to get into court and to get in front of a jury and hold this company accountable. And that begins with Mark Zuckerberg. There has to be accountability. We need to open the courtroom doors and allow victims to have their day in court.
Hawley, you got to go pretty far in the woods to hit your tripwire, but they hit the tripwire yesterday. Who were those folks, and what caused you to come on so hot there at the end?
These are researchers who worked for Facebook. These are Facebook employees. And Steve, you know, you hear all this stuff that they were testifying about, all the child porn that's all over the web. You and I both remember it wasn't so long ago. If you even mentioned child pornography, if you mentioned child sex abuse material, you were called every name in the book by the left. They said, oh, that's just a fantasy. That's all a conspiracy theory. That's not going on. These are Facebook researchers, big-time liberals, by the way. You read their declarations. These are libs. I mean, if their political views, they're not conservatives. But it made them sick to their stomach what this company was doing, exposing kids to child sex abuse material in order to make money. And that's the problem with these tech oligarchs. It's all about their power. It's all about their money. There's nothing they won't do, Stephen. I mean nothing. They will not do in order to extend their control over our families and over our country. And we cannot allow that to happen.
Let me tell you this, guys, because I'm the stuff that we're exposing today, it's all about who gets elected. And I've been bringing receipts like crazy right now. Look at this. Georgia Democrat pleads guilty to 70 felony counts of voter registration fraud. Samunto Shamin Pittman, working for a coalition for the People's Agenda, submitted dozens of fictitious voter registrations in Fulton County. After years of delay, she pled guilty in 2024 to all 70 counts and was sentenced to probation. Again, when we don't even get the choice to elect the people that we want because there's fraud, waste, and abuse, that's why you continue to see so much stalling in Congress. I promise you, with a new census, with cleaning up the districts, with get rid of all the voter fraud, we would probably be at a minimum 2/3 majority in the Senate and in the House. Because people don't stand for this crazy ideologies. They don't. You look at all the polling, they just don't. 90% of people approve of securing the border. 90%, okay? But how was it that Biden could have his way? Because of the people in Congress. It's just mind-blowing. Kathy Brewer, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Say good morning, MAGA, True Life News. Let's go. Faithful supporter, member of the channel. Show Kathy some love in the chat, as well as Glow for 6 months of membership. So make sure to hit that like button, share with others. Let's go, True Life News, Joel and family. I love it. And Jim Barbato, thank you so much, brother. Y'all show Jim some love in the chat. OG of the channel, too. Guys, y'all are so awesome. We were bringing everybody the news right now, guys. And this right here, the more that we expose this, the more that we vote in the right way, we're going to make sure that we get the right people. Like, I believe Senator Josh Hawley needs to be him, or John Kennedy needs to be the leader of the Senate so that we can get some dang things straightened out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Senator Hawley, what you're hearing yesterday showed is that these researchers were paid to actually go do they showed it to senior management. This is happening. Senior management went out of their way to hide that, to make sure they continued on to make profits. Am I correct? They not only didn't make any changes, they hid the fact of what exactly was happening and children were exposed to?
Yeah, they hid it and they falsified it, Steve. I mean, they came in and they said to these researchers, oh, whoa, your research is showing that there's a lot of child abuse on Facebook. falsify the data. And then they turned around to the public and their shareholders and said, we've done all of this research and it's all fine. I mean, Facebook's a great upstanding company. They're lying to their shareholders and the public. They're committing fraud. And listen, if you follow these companies at all, you know that this is just par for the course, but it's sickening when it involves our kids. I mean, is there nothing these people won't do in order to make money and get power? And the answer is no, there is nothing, including taking away the innocence of our own children. These people, they have got to be held accountable.
Because of the heroic efforts of the FTC and even Lena Khan before that and President Trump in his first term, they're in federal court. We're looking to break them up, both on Instagram and other things that they have to actually force them to start to deconstruct their company. But somehow Zuckerberg got into a dinner last week, sitting next to the President of the United States, particularly on the day that Bobby Kennedy had the Star Chamber, given everything that Facebook had done to steal the 2020 election, suppress any information about the vaccine mandates, all of it. How does that happen? How are you going to get folks in the Senate to get worked up to actually go after Facebook as you should and open up to people to go after them when somehow somebody in the administration and or the White House thinks it's appropriate to have Zuckerberg sitting next to President Trump at dinner?
Wow.
You know, isn't it amazing that, as you say, the very day that Bobby Kennedy's getting raked over the coals because he's trying to take on the people responsible for the chronic disease epidemic among our kids, this guy, Mark Zuckerberg, one of the worst purveyors of child abuse, when you look at this testimony from yesterday, is going scot-free. I just want to emphasize something you said about President Trump. He took on these companies in his first term, all of these antitrust investigations and prosecutions that he launched that are now bearing fruit. That, to my mind, is one of the most important, significant things he has done. We need to keep the pedal to the metal on that, number one. But number two, your point about Congress. Congress has a role to play here. Congress shouldn't just sit back and say, well, good luck to you, President Trump. Good luck to you, DOJ. You guys go prosecute him. No, we need to open up the courthouse doors on these companies. Right now, these companies are the only ones in America who cannot be held accountable in court for what they do. You know, if Ford builds a car that blows up, you can sue them. That's as it should be. Right now, these companies have built platforms where your kids are getting abused. You can't do anything about it. Congress needs to change that. Congress needs to end the sweetheart deal and allow Mark Zuckerberg and Meta and all the rest to be sued in court by victims.
Wow.
Last thing, I know you got to bounce. We got about a minute or two. This education report that came out is nothing but catastrophic. It completely falling off the cliff of young people's ability, with all the money we put in education, falling off the cliff on reading comprehension, on writing, on math skills, on science, across the board. What can be done about it? I mean, this is now this has now become a crisis, and it just ties back to a lot of factors, but it ties back. The big falling off the cliff goes back to the beginning of the smartphone. What say you, sir?
I would just say this, that the smartphone and the AI revolution, pretty soon our kids aren't going to be able to write a thing because AI is going to do it all for them. Already you hear these technology gurus say, oh, we need to outsource teaching. Let's just replace all the teachers with phones. Let's replace all the teachers with computers. Let's just let the kids sit in front of a screen. I mean, are you kidding me? That's the worst thing possible. We need to put more power back in the hands of parents. Parents have had their power taken away from them, left, right, and center. In education, in technology, we need to be putting power back into the hands of parents, and that begins with taking power away from these tech companies. I don't want them running our education. They're destroying it. I don't want them running our kids' health. They're destroying it, and I sure as heck don't want them running this.
Guys, let me tell you this. If we don't get our money back, because it's all about the money. It's all about when we give our tax dollars and not give, it's taken, you know. In a sense, you don't really get a choice unless you're a business owner. Then you have to do things a little bit differently, but then it costs counting and things like that. But look at this, a $3.3 million from Left Wing NGO, a non-government organization that's funded by the government. The MacArthur Foundation went to Mecklenburg County to reduce the jail population, the very county that released career criminals DeCarlos Brown 14 times. So our money goes to these foundations, these NGOs that are paying to reduce crime and reduce the population in these prisons, and all they're doing is just letting career criminals out. They're not getting any better. When you've committed 14 crimes, violent crimes like this, there's something wrong. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support. Carla Thomas, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Said God chose his warrior over 2,000 years ago. Trump, I love it. Show Carla some love in the chat, member of the channel. And don't forget to show Chris Press some love in the chat, everybody, for gifting 20 TrueLife News memberships. I'm telling you, growing the family, such an OG of the channel. Thank you so much, brother. I want to show you this because it doesn't get no more plainly spoken than what you're about to hear. But I like to bring that this is not going anywhere, everybody. As just like the BLM George Floyd was for the Democrats, this in a sense is going to be for the MAGA. That we are going, this was the final straw that broke the camel's back, that we're going to change America for the better, and everybody's getting in on it. Listen to this.
So the narrative we hear from the media is exactly what you would expect. They are infinitely more outraged at the alleged racially charged language of conservative pundits than they are at the actual butchery of an innocent woman by a 14-time career felon on public transportation. They are not angry that this woman was killed. I mean, they couldn't care less. They wouldn't even be talking about it if they had their way. Instead, they're outraged by the racism, quote unquote, of conservatives who have noticed that the murders are happening. And then we hear from Van Jones that, we can't say for sure whether that black criminal killed Irina because she was white. Can't say that for sure. So just to review, the media can say for sure that it's racist to say mean things about a black guy who killed a white woman, but they can't say for sure that it's racist for a black guy to actually kill a white woman. So the murder is not racist necessarily, but the commentary about the murder, well, that is racist. That's what these despicable snakes are actually claiming. Keep in mind, this is coming from all the same people who declared from the first moment that the George Floyd footage went viral that it was a racist hate crime.
Yeah.
There was nothing in that video, if you recall, not a single thing that indicated any kind of racial motivation whatsoever. And yet, when a black suspect ODs while being detained by a white cop, it's a racist killing, automatically. Automatically, it's a racist killing. When a black criminal slaughters a white woman on the train, it's a mental health episode.
That's literally what they're calling it, everybody. I'm telling you, just listen to this. Things are about to change. We're bringing you all the top leadership, all the top people. People are fed up with this. And we're getting new crime bills that are going to be involved. One of them, and it's just the numbers, guys. Like these numbers are astronomically blowing my mind right now. That this is the data. So what they're saying is that if we reduce the population, somebody gets in jail for a violent crime 10 times, and if we just, after that, at that 10th time, we say, you're not going out, you're staying in jail, we reduce crime by 20% based upon statistics. If we said, hey, if you get to 5 crimes and you've committed 5 violent crimes in your life, and we're just going to keep you in jail once you hit that 5th violent crime, we reduce violent crime by 40%. Now you tell me, stuff is about to change. Listen to this.
Oh boy.
Hi, sir. Why not extend the National Guard to the sea? Why is the House not voting on this?
Well, my understanding is it's not necessary. The mayor has invited the National Guard to remain indefinitely, is my understanding. So we've not received a request or of a necessity for Congress to act. So we're grateful for the results. I mean, the crime rates are down dramatically. I think carjackings are down 85%. I know some of y'all live in the Navy Yard. You must be much happier.
The public doesn't want it. It's very clear that they don't want the National Guard on the streets.
Oh, really? Are you polling local residents? Because that's not what I've heard.
Polls, lots of polls.
Every single person I've talked to says, thank goodness the president acted. I'm safer. My family can walk around our neighborhood without fear. Robberies are down 25%, I think. Murders down. I mean, we went 11 days without a murder in D.C. It's remarkable. So this is the kind of thing that I think average everyday Americans really appreciate. They don't want crime on their streets. You should be able to walk the street of any major city in America without fear for your safety. I think that resonates with the public. We'll see.
What should we think? What should we see? What do you expect on funding this week?
Lots of heavy discussion. Obviously, the deadline is approaching, and we all recognize that, but we're going to have consensus built around the final option. As you know, there are a number of ideas on the table. People are having discussions in good faith, and I'm very confident that all of this will come together right on time, as it always does.
And the Obamacare subsidy seems to be picking up steam. Cornyn talked about it. And I think you had another Republican sign on this week.
We'll see. There's a lot of opposition to it as well. I want to point out that the Democrats could have fixed this approaching deadline at any time.
They didn't. You're in charge now. So.
Okay, but they did their reconciliation package. It was not a priority there. They missed opportunities. Everyone has. We'll have to see how it shakes out.
Can you clarify, sir, what
I'm not going to forecast that right now. I'm just telling you there's thoughtful conversations about all of it.
Can you clarify your comment on that President Trump was an informant to the FBI? Okay,
I did this already. Let me do it one more time for everybody. Everybody listen up, all right? End of last week, lots about Epstein, okay? The Oversight Committee is doing its work. They're doing it in earnest. You may have heard Chairman Comer and other members that I think are headed down to the Epstein estate, literally, physically, to look at visitor logs and whatever evidence is there. I will point out, none of that was anticipated or included in the discharge petition, so this is the actual work of the Committee of Jurisdiction doing what it's supposed to do. You've got very aggressive members on both sides of the aisle involved in this, and they're going to uncover, overturn every stone and follow the truth where it leads, and we are fully supportive of that. All that is going on, and I've been asked about 1,000 questions 1,000 times about all of it. In an aside with Monica, what was that Friday? I don't know, on the way out Thursday or one of those days. I mentioned that what the attorneys for the victims have been very clear about, that President Trump was involved in this more than a decade ago. Before he ran for president, before he did that, he kicked Epstein out of Mar-a-Lago when he learned about this, the allegations of this just evil behavior, evil acts, and that he was participating in some way with law enforcement to bring about an end to that. I don't know if I used the right word. I said FBI informant. I'm not sure. I wasn't there. This is in my lane. I'm just repeating what is common knowledge and has been out in the public for a long time. President Trump was never a hindrance to the Epstein investigation. He was trying to assist in that. He is disgusted. He is horrified by the things that have been done there, by the victims' testimonies of the just unspeakable evils that they had to endure. And he wants justice to be brought, as we all do.
And I want to show you this because, again, it's being blown up all over the internet right now, guys. This is big stuff. Guess what? Every single one of these, we're going to get so many laws that change things. It's going to be big. ICE captures criminal illegal immigrant with 49 prior arrests per Fox News. 49 prior arrests. Guys, let me tell you this. People that don't want to be helped, you can't help them. When you get to 10 arrests, something's wrong. You get to 20 arrests, it's on us, okay? It's on our judges. It's on whoever's the prosecutor. This is just wrong on so many accounts. John Rappy, thank you so much, brother, for the super chat. Let's go. Said, Patriots, arm yourselves. Become very familiar with your tool and train, MAGA. I love it. Show John some love in the chat, member of the channel. Thank you so much, brother. And Flip Elliott, welcome to the family, brother. We appreciate you. Show Flip some love in the chat. It's just, we've gone too long, guys. In this, we've got people in the United States that want socialism, communism, want to defund the police, want to let career criminals out. We've got to get some change, or else it's going to get even worse.
Do you expect to comment on any other bill outside of Bill Khan?
I'm certainly trying. Our appropriators are working. Chairman Cole, Chairman of Appropriations, is working very deliberately to try to deliver all those bills and get them across the floor. And I have been very insistent since I became Speaker, as all of you have reminded me many times, that we have to. I committed to getting us back to regular order, but we're rebuilding muscle memory here, step by step. It took a long time to get into these bad habits, and it's going to take some time to get out of it. But the more of the individual bills that we can get done or get to conference between House and Senate, I think that's healthy for the
Mr. Speaker, make it pass. Thank you.
I'm telling you guys, things are about to change, and we've got some people, because remember, I just got to show you this again. It's so powerful, y'all. Look at this beautiful 21 Supreme Court victories. Trump is 21-0 at the Supreme Court, and this is big. This is like, when you get to this point, you know that it's just lawfare against Trump, and this is from the White House. John Clark said, what is an OG of the channel? So OG means original. So when you're an OG of the channel original, you've kind of been with us for a long time. You know, I started True Life News back in 2021, and I did it for about 9 to 10 months, and then work got really busy. I handed it off to my brother. Y'all know him as John. He took it for about 1.5 years, and then I came back in April of last year, and me and him were both tag teaming it, and then he started a business, got super busy, and then I went full-time back again with True Life in September of last year. So since August, September, since I've been going full-time, you've been with us. That's why I recognize the names, guys. You know, we have some that have been with us for a long time, and that's why when I see that, hey, you're an OG. Robert Cash, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Said accountability, truth, and justice. Jesus Christ is our Lord and Savior. Amen, brother. Show Robert some love in the chat. Thank you so much, brother, for your support. Right now, I'm telling you, we it's just too evident what's happening. If you appreciate all this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support. Listen to this.
Congratulations, Senator. But it kind of reflects the age we live in many ways, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And let me say a word about Mr. Mamdani. He's a socialist. We know that because his purse fell open and a copy of Socialism for Dummies fell out. Let me explain socialism to you. I read this somewhere. Pay your kid $20 to clean out the garage. And when he's finished, take $15 from him and give it to your other kid who didn't help. That's socialism. It's soul crushing. Socialism is for morons. It's untethered to reality. There's no historical case for it. It's just an equal sharing of misery. And for all those howdy-doodies that say, well, socialism is better than it's better than free enterprise, ask yourself this question. When the Berlin Wall fell, who ran to which side? And I think that answers the case for socialism versus free enterprise. I hope people will buy the book. It's going to come out in October. It's not a policy book per se. It's a story book. Many of the stories are humorous. Some of them bizarre. They're all true. I use stories to try to help the people understand what the U.S. Senate's really like, to explain to them why in Washington normal is just a setting on the dryer, and to make the case about why it doesn't have to be that way if we just have a return to common sense. I tell stories about President Trump, about my time, the hour I spent with Joe Biden, about Lindsey Graham, about John McCain. I think it'll make you laugh. And I think it'll make you laugh, and it may want to make you want to day drink.
I may have to. I don't know. Back to the people that you're mentioning and the people that you talk about. Maybe Lindsey Graham will be the more interesting story. I have no idea. But you look at the leadership now of the Democratic Party. You've got AOC flying around in a private jet with Grandpa Bernie to fight the oligarchy. They're, spending $3,500 on hotels and fancy places, and dining out and living like kings and queens. And okay, that's fine, but I thought they were fighting the oligarchy. Then you got Mamdani, Then you got the squad. Then you got AOC and the squad. Then you got Jasmine Crockett, your friend Pocahontas. Those are the leading voices now of the Democratic Party. Chuck Schumer doesn't say anything. He's scared to death of them all.
Well, look, I don't hate anyone, Sean, but Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez is a creature or creation of the media. She checks all the boxes. She's young. She's liberal. She's attractive. She's ethnic. Her problem is that she's shallow as a puddle. You scratch the surface and you just get more surface. For her recent conduct, which you talked about, she gets and deserves a certificate of hypocrisy. And I would remind her that it's not your beliefs that make you a good person. It's your behavior.
Yeah.
Watch what politicians do, not what they say.
Some of America's you're the most quotable senator. Always be yourself unless you suck. I say this gently. This is why the aliens won't talk to us. If you trust government, you obviously failed history class. I believe that our country was founded by geniuses, but is being run by idiots. Always follow your heart, but take your brain with you. And I can keep going. I've asked you this once before. Do you actually prepare these lines, or do they come up spontaneously?
Nobody writes my
material,
the things I say for me. You know, I've always been like this. God gave me the right to remain silent, but not the ability. And I just say what I think. And Lindsey Graham's coming on. Let me give you some advice. If you take Lindsey's advice, you'll end up drunk, so be careful.
Wow.
I'm going to tell him he said that.
He literally just called him out. Wow, that's insane, guys. Let me tell you this. Man, how many times can Trump be right and everybody keep continuing to say, like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about? No inflation. He said, just out, no inflation, too late, must lower the rate. Big right now, Powell's a total disaster who doesn't have a clue. President DJT. Now they are, the feds are going to meet, they are, it's like a 99% chance they're going to lower the interest rates, but it's too late already. You know, we could have been doing a lot more. Want to say thank you so much, Ralph Campbell Mobile Welding. Thank you so much, brother, for your support. Said thank you, Joel and family, plus all our wonderful watchers and supporters. Thank you for all your support. Love you all. God is good. Amen, brother. Show George Masalas some love in the chat. God loves Senator Kennedy and President DJT. I love it. Y'all show George and Ralph some love in the chat. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, everybody. And if you're watching and not subscribed, please consider joining our family here at TrueLife News. We want to serve you every day with the top news. Big things are happening. We bring the receipts, y'all. You know, we bust our butt to give you the best show every single day. We couldn't do this without you. We are literally just living in history right now with everything that's happening. But I thank God that we're blessed with those that are members of the channel, those that are supporting, because TrueLife News is actually making positive change in this world. We give to our local charity on the 22nd of every single month with your support, and it's beautiful. In the past 11 months, we've already given over $45,000 live on stream. And that's what I want to be known for, everybody, is that we are bringing positive change. We got the best chat on YouTube, and I just love doing this every single day. Makes my heart super happy. Want to give some special love to those that have given today. Chris Prez, OG of the channel, brother, thank you so much for your support. Gifting 20 TrueLife News memberships. If you got a free membership, show Chris some love in the chat. Lay Lewis gifting 5 TrueLife News memberships. Show Lay some love in the chat, as well as JoJo for gifting another 5 TrueLife News memberships. Guys, growing the family. You are so awesome. Thank you so much for your support. Tijuana Border Jumper, Fred Samuel, Deborah Gomez, thank you so much. Kathy Brewer, show Kathy some love in the chat. Jim Barbado, thank you so much, Jim. You are awesome, brother. Carla Thomas, thank you so much for your support. John Reppy, appreciate you, brother. Robert Cash, thank you so much, brother. Amen. Jesus Christ is our Lord and Savior. Thank you so much, Ralph and George, for your support. Guys, show them some love in the chat. Thank you so much for liking and sharing our videos. Remember, we are here to serve you. We love you, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.